I'm not ready to say it 100% yet, but I'm starting to think that Oprah and the people at the OWN network see some of the issues within the Black community and they say, how can we get in on this? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the review for Somebody's Son, season 1, and I'm doing episodes 1 and 2. Now, when I first saw this show come up on my radar, I was just like, what is this? What is this? Somebody tell me right now. Did I say I hope you guys are doing good today? I'm doing well. I am so sorry. I'm so rude. I hope y'all are doing good today. But I had to jump right in. Now, again, I don't want to say for sure how I feel about this show because I feel like I gotta wait for it to get to like episode 4. But I was talking to my homegirl as we began to watch it. And she was just like, why is it Somebody's Son? Like, why is it a group of women competing for somebody's son? And I told her, and we could fight about it, y'all, because I told y'all I was going to quit coming on here censoring myself to not piss people off. But I meant what I said. I believe them people at OWN see what's going on in the community. And how often do we talk about these mamas and they sons? And if your mama wasn't one of these, then I'm not talking about your mama. But we know how some mamas can be about they sons. They son is the prize, okay? He is the prize pick, and who wouldn't want to compete for him, right? And that is something we talk about in the community, y'all. Let's not act like we don't. Let's not act like we don't. We definitely don't sit in the community and talk about, yes, honey, my daughter, she is the one. They gonna be competing for these boys. Gonna be all over my daughter. I don't hear that much. What I hear a lot, though, is my son's so fine. He's so handsome. Them little girls better stay away from mine. I've heard it more times than I can count. Now I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that I even had to imitate that. But we can talk about the show. Let's talk about the show. This is episodes 1 and 2 combined because, as usual, I'm behind on the tea. But let's get to it. Okay, in the first episode, we get introduced to Joshua. Joshua is 28. He comes with Oma, his aunt. It doesn't sound like he doesn't have his mom in his life. I don't know if she didn't want to be on the show, but he did say his mom was back and forth to Nigeria a lot. So growing up, his auntie Oma was in the picture. And so that's who he has brought as his representative. They do seem to be very close. Joshua is a NFL player for the Titans. He's into fashion. He's an entrepreneur. He's a good looking guy. He's 28, which... Joshua, are you ready, baby? But he's a good-looking guy. I like his fashions, okay? He definitely, the fashions is tea. The fashions is tea. No hate here. He has some big eyes, and I love big eyes. I really do. I'm an eye girl, but he young, though. So, I ain't looking like that. He could be my little brother, okay? So I'm just looking, but I ain't looking. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, the premise of the show is that they are going to, just like any other competition type of show for dating, he's going to decide at the end which woman he chooses. It looks like they're going to eliminate every week or so. And the parent, the mom specifically, is going to be involved in choosing the right mate for him because mother knows best, child. And that is who is going to do the picking. Actually, on the first episode, they eliminated somebody, and Oma was the one who decided essentially who was going to be eliminated, which with of course, Joshua, a little bit of his input. Did I say his name right? It's Joshua. Y'all know how I am with names. A little bit of his input, but ultimately she was the one to make the decision. Now, let's real quick run through the girls and what I thought about episode 1 so we can get to the next episode because I don't want to be talking too long. I don't want to hold y'all too long for these episodes. Okay, the girls, their names are, and I'm doing good to remember these names. Left to right, Tamaris, Lexi, Shambrielle, and Martha. I got a feeling I said the first girl's name wrong. But anyway, all of these girls are accomplished. They have good careers. I do not remember all of them. There's a producer in the mix. There's a nurse in the mix. And Shambrielle, what was it that she did? All successful girls, right? Age range is from 26 to 32. Martha is actually the youngest, the one on the end. So as the girls are coming in, of course, you can kind of see who he may be a little bit more drawn to. But I will say, out of the two guys that we've seen so far, to me, Joshua was the one who seemed to be pretty friendly with all the women. He seemed like you couldn't tell too much of who he liked and who he didn't. He just seemed to be kind of like friendly to everybody, talking to everybody. His auntie is in the back saying who she thinks that he would be attracted to. She immediately points out Lexi might be more of his type. She does mention that Martha was not his type. Now, I found that interesting because Martha is very much traditionally Nigerian, very proud of her culture. She comes in her cultural garb. And so for the auntie to say that he wasn't going to like that, I was just like, okay, auntie already know. Joshua, he moved to Houston and he a city boy, okay? He fully immersed himself into the American culture. So a lot of times when you let your child grow up here in America, sometimes they're not checking for a traditional girl. They know that you would be pleased with that, but that doesn't mean that's what they want. Lexi. Now, Lexi has 2 children. That's the one in the green. I like Lexi, but was it just me, or did it seem like she lacked confidence? Like, okay, let me not say she lacked confidence. I noticed by some of her comments, I did start to wonder if she was slightly insecure, and not necessarily because she has 2 children, but like, I don't know. She has an air about herself, like with the comments she makes or with the way that she was looking at women as they came in the door. Her automatic thought was always just like, wow, she's very beautiful. Or, oh, I noticed what she had on. Or, oh my gosh, Martha's traditional. Like, I don't know if he's going to. Why are you worried about it, baby? Just worry about yourself and what you look like and what you bring to the table. Okay. Don't worry about anybody else. So I did just notice a little something in her, but I could be off about that. It was just something I noticed about a lot of her commentary. Now, Shabrielle, I can tell you did not know you was me nobody's mama, because that ass was out. Do you hear me? I mean, it wasn't nothing she could do. You know how you could pull your stuff down a little bit? It wasn't that. Them cheeks was out, and it wasn't nothing the old girl could do. I'm no better than a man. I'm no better than a man. I will tell you that. I thought Martha looked beautiful, where Martha was just like, nah, this is just how we dress for the wedding. Okay, this ain't this ain't nothing fancy. This is just what we do. And Tamera, she was kind of quiet. She was kind of quiet for the most part. But these are the ladies that he has to choose from. Very, very beautiful. Whoever selected them, chef's kiss. Can't do no wrong there in that group. So, Oma is in the back, kind of sizing everybody up. Shabrielle, with what you got on, girl? Auntie Oma was not pleased. I told you what she said about Martha already. She said that wouldn't be his type. Said she liked Lexi, but the kids thing, I don't know. And then she thought Tamaris was very pretty as well. So later on, we get into an elimination. Martha is sent home, unfortunately. I still found it interesting that she was sent home, but Martha said, hey, one monkey ain't stop no show. I'm very beautiful. I'm 26. This is not the end for me. And girl, it's not the end for you, for sure. I was disturbed by Joshua asking for a hug after she got eliminated, and then saying with the attitude she was giving me. Why? Because she didn't give you no hug? She got eliminated. Why would she be hugging up on you? And why are you asking for a hug? I kind of felt like he didn't want to be the bad guy in that moment. Like, that wasn't me. That was my auntie. Can I get your number? Can I get your number just in case it don't work out? When none of these women here, I feel like he would have tried to slide a little bit, at the card, just in case. I didn't eliminate you. My auntie did. But I found it interesting, the ones that the aunt was picking out as his type, or the ones she liked. I'm going to point out they was lighter. Okay, I don't want to fight y'all. I'm going to point out they was a little bit lighter. And the only reason I'm pointing that out is because Auntie Oma looked like she bleached to me. I don't know. I'm getting bleaching vibes. And then she had them contacts in. I'm just wondering, did she look like she bleached to anybody else? Or is it just me? It could just be. But she is a beautiful woman, even without contacts and all that. I think she's a beautiful woman. I love the way that she was dressed. She looked very regal. I mean, she's a beautiful lady. So, of course, when she comes out, everybody was just like, oh, my God, your mama is here. And I love her and Josh's relationship. They always laughing and geeking and giggling. It's cute. So, later on, they have some kind of sexy photo shoot. Why? I don't know. This show needs a little bit of work, but all OWN network shows are like that in the beginning. They're always a little awkward, always a little bit off. You can tell they're trying to test it out and see what the audience likes, and then they'll take their ideas from us and they'll fix it by season 7. So, they do the sexy photo shoot. And for the most part, it's weird because they should have did the sexy photo shoot without the other women being able to watch. Like, y'all sit in another room while the photo shoot going on, because you sitting right there watching this guy that you're interested in have chemistry with another woman. Like, it's right there in your face. And I'm gonna tell you, Joshua not running away from no chemistry. Listen. I said, now I know I'm too doggone grown to be getting hot in the coochie over a 28-year-old, but when I tell you he ain't scared of no eye contact, I mean, that man will look you right in your face. Challenge, okay? It's a challenge. But the most chemistry he had was with Chambrielle. I hope I'm saying her name right. You know, the one with the booty cheeks out. They had a lot of chemistry. They just went on ahead and kissed, and he the one that went for it. And my girl, she delivered, right? She said, okay, that's what we doing. And then let's kiss this. Shoot. Auntie Oma, hope you don't mind. And baby, they was in it. Okay, they was in it. I'm telling you. And then Tamaris went last. I felt bad for her because I think she felt very awkward watching everybody else's chemistry, like him and Lexi, him and Chambrielle. And they did have like a little I effing moment on the pool table. He tried to kiss her too, and Tamaris was like, I bet not. Okay, and I respected that. I was like, yes, girl, you let him know. You don't kiss me in the mouth after you kiss another woman. As a matter of fact, when we was doing all that innuendo, I would have got real close to his ear and said, hey, I don't come behind no other woman. I'm always first. Don't you try to kiss me after you kiss another girl. What you thought this was? Shoot, I'm a lady. So anyway, it was all cute, but it was still a little bit awkward. And then he's going to select somebody to take on a date. When I was watching it with my friend, she said that he really should take Tamaris because she was the one that felt like kind of the most like, oh my gosh, like what am I going to bring? I'm the last one up. But he probably going to end up taking Chambrielle because he already done kissed her. So, you know, he might be trying to see what's up with that. But we going to find out next week when we watch the next episode. On the tail end, y'all, I meant to add something really quick. Joshua is being purposely elusive about what he does for a living because he wants to make sure that the women like him for him and not because he's a football player. So he's not really telling them at this time. Just wanted to add that in. Oh, I forgot one more thing I meant to add in. They end up playing like this question game when Auntie Oma comes out. That's how Martha got herself eliminated. Auntie Oma didn't like her answers to the question. She felt like she was just trying to say what Joshua wanted to hear. And some of the questions were in relation to how many times do you need to have sex a week. They talked about how to settle conflict. Like, again, OWN has some work to do on how the show is going to be formulated. But that happens with every show that OWN does in this capacity. They have to work out the kinks. So I'm not surprised by it. Oh my goodness, y'all, my lunch break is over. But I really want to get this done. Okay, so James is 30 years old. He is a cybersecurity engineer, I believe. And his mom is, her name is Charlize. Immediately, Charlize is a lot, okay? We find out, actually, she is a pastor as well. But she's a lot. She refers to James as her road dog. He said that she wants him to be a mama's boy, but he fights it. And you can see that. You can tell she's very involved in his life, probably a little bit too much. A little bit overbearing. I wasn't getting those vibes with Joshua and his aunt, but I am getting it with James and his mama. It's very much in your business. I dated a guy who was a mama's boy. I ain't gonna say his name on here. I want to, but I'm not. But he was a mama's boy. And I remember our very first date. He told me he told her about it or whatever. And then another time, it was like maybe like a month or two later, I had came over there and she called and she asked what we were doing, and he was just like, we watching TV. And she was like, well, where y'all watching TV at in the bed? And she was on speaker, and I turned my head, and I wanted to be like, and if we was? Excuse me. I'm just not used to that, okay? I don't, them mama's boys, if you a mama's boy, that's one thing. Like, y'all close, y'all talk on the phone every day, cool. But once she start getting in my business of what I'm doing in this bed with you, and we wasn't in the bed, we was in the living room. We went to the bed. But the point is, you are in my business. Don't do that. Okay? So anyway, James is sometimes horrified by the things that his mom says. a lot, including when she said that he tend to bring home rescues. And I done had to pray two of these girls away. I told him, like, you can't save everybody. And James is just like, oh my gosh. But she says he wears his heart on his sleeve. And I'm willing to believe that he does. James comes off very buttoned up, very much like a guy who has lived maybe a strict life, but he seems now to be wanting to be on the looser side of things. He said he travels, he's adventurous, he likes to get a little wild, he's been to all these different places. I think he even said he had lived in New York for a time. So he has a history about himself, which is cool, right? Now let's talk about the women. Okay, so James's women, the first girl that comes in is Brevon, the one in the orange. Brevon is very talkative, and she even says that she is. But she ready, baby. She's the most ready. Then there's Alicia, Sabernay, and I am so sorry I forgot the last girl's name, but I feel like it's Choma or something like that. But I will say, I'll just say the Nigerian girl. She is of Nigerian descent. Okay, so when it comes to these women, age ranges is from 25 to, I believe, 31. Again, accomplished girls, good careers. We even got some former pageant girls in the mix, and fitness influencers, got 2 jobs. We got some things going on with these girls as well. Now, when the girls get there, they meet James. Charlize is in the back commenting on who she like, who she don't like. James, the one he likes the most is Alicia, the one in the white, curly hair, 25. That's who he likes the most. The one his mama liked the most is, I think, the girl of Nigerian descent, whose name I cannot remember, over on the end, on the left. And I think she likes Sabernay as well. Here's the thing, though. This is the funny part. As soon as I saw Alicia, I said, that's the one he gonna like. And let me tell you how I know this. When a guy is extremely buttoned up like that, he wants the woman that at some point in time he felt like he could not get. See, Joshua, it was hard for me to tell who he liked and who he didn't like, but I have a feeling that Joshua has probably been getting women all or most of his life. Like it gives the feel that he was always that type of guy. So, whatever beautiful women come in his orbit are beautiful women that come in his orbit. Like, I'll take any of them. All of these women are beautiful for James. All of these women are beautiful. But Alicia, whatever, she has a certain thing to her. And I believe we all can name what, it's like we know what the thing is, even if we can't name it. She is like more of I'm going to say a wild girl, a party girl. And them buttoned up types, they feel like that is the woman they could not get all their years. And when they finally have the opportunity, a little bit of coin, a little bit of money, to get this woman, that is who they're going to like. That's who they're the most drawn to. That's who they're most attracted to. It's always the case. And this is why I usually do not feel bad for guys that try to tell me, well, the girls I like, I be trying to get with them. They don't never really want me. And I always say, what kind of women do you like? Do you like your equal? They never like their equal. Men who are not used to getting women never like their equal. And when I say used to getting women, I mean a lot of women, like a lot of attention. Ones who are not used to getting a whole lot of attention, they never like they equal. They always want the party girl, the wild girl. They enjoy it. They like it. They like to be in her orbit. And it also gives them kudos from other men. Because it's like, dang, boy, how you pull that? With your buttoned up ass. How you pull her? They want those props. They want those kudos. They always have. Joshua is a football player. He gets those kudos by default because he is a football player. That's how it goes, especially in the community. Athletes, entertainers, they get them kudos automatically. Everybody else, you don't always get the kudos you want. So if you can get the right woman on your side, that will help you get a little bit more clout. And Alicia is that type of woman. All these women are beautiful, though. Make no mistake. But that's why I never feel sorry for the so-called nerds, the so-called lames, all of that, because y'all never want who wants you. Y'all never want your fellow nerd. His fellow, who he was the most aligned with probably, was the Nigerian descent girl. They done traveled to a lot of the same places. They enjoy a lot of the same things. Even Brevon, don't she say she like a little bit of golf? He play golf. And I want the bottle girl. That's who I want. I want the very sexy, bottle girl. That's who I got my eyes on. Woo, this is gonna be interesting. So anyway, the mama don't care too much for Alicia. He was like, I know that's his type, that's who he like, but that is not the right one for him. So they going back and forth, and the mama do not agree with too much of what he like. James is the type of guy who has been under the thumb and under the rules for a long time. Even when he said he was adventurous, I was like, I bet this is in response to how he grew up. He wants everything that is the opposite of his mama. He wants somebody that she don't like. He want to rebel against her as much as he can, but he got to do it under the guise of these women because he ain't got the guts and the courage to do it himself. So he just like, I like Alicia. Like, I definitely want her to stay. Charlize didn't like the answers to the questions from Alicia. She talked about her mama was religious, but her daddy was more spiritual. You could tell she was not here for that, especially being a preacher herself. When asked about his relationship with God, James just responded, well, I'm a preacher's kid, right? So you preach. Baby, what's your relationship with God? You ain't answer the question. But he gonna rebel against his mama as much as he can using these women. That's gonna be his angle and his goal. And whatever happens is what happens. I don't feel bad for James. If he end up with a bad bee that run his pockets, run him into the ground, who cheat with a rapper, I don't care. Because you should have been going with what was more aligned with you. Because your mama not wrong about that. Y'all got to stop. But this is why I don't feel bad, y'all. Don't get me started on my tangent. I done met plenty of nerdy girls, alternative black girls. They liked they equally weird or nerdy counterpart, and their counterpart was not checking for them. Okay? It definitely goes in reverse as well. So, off of that, okay, we know who James liked the most. But they end up sending girl of Nigerian descent home. And that really upset me because if anybody, I think they should have sent Brevon home if they was going to send somebody. Because he didn't seem to be feeling her too much either. Like, he was nice enough, but he didn't seem to be feeling her. But he definitely wasn't feeling Nigerian descent girl. I don't like the way he asked. He didn't make the other women work to take their drinks outside. But when she get there, he want to talk about how tall she is and, oh, she got on heels too. And then it was time to take the champagne out. He was like, you got it? You can get that? Boy, take that champagne. You do it yourself. Make 2 trips if you got to. You already got these women here competing for you. You didn't make these other women work to take their stuff outside. I just think immediately he wasn't drawn to her, wasn't that attracted to her. And he showed it, in my opinion, in the way that he treated her. And that's, again, why I don't be feeling sorry for you. As a fellow cybersecurity girl myself, okay, I got the Sec Plus as well. I don't be feeling sorry for y'all. I work around y'all. I have talked to y'all. And the things that y'all want in a woman has everything to do with all of the clout that you did not get growing up. And I don't be feeling bad. I don't be feeling bad because it be women who want y'all. Not me. But it be women who want y'all and want to date y'all, want to be with y'all. But y'all can't come down off of that, whatever that is, whatever dream that is, to be chosen by these women to get a woman that align with you. And then the women that do align with y'all do not talk to them right. Y'all do not treat them right. Y'all will ignore them like they not even worth a second glance. And baby, I don't like that behavior. Woo, I don't like that behavior. Can y'all tell I'm irritated? I've been around these types for a long time. And all they do is complain. All they do is complain about how they don't get treated right. Anyway, y'all, I'm up off it. Whatever happened to James, what happened with James, but I knew who he was when he walked in the door as soon as I saw that velvet blazer. Okay, I might be biased, but I knew who he was. Well, I'm going to give him a chance, okay? I know it don't sound like it, but I'm going to give him a chance. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought about these 2 episodes. I feel like I'm leaving something out. Oh, and lastly, I think Brevon, I think she crazy. I don't know why, but I think old girl is going to snap on this show in some kind of way. And yeah. We will meet one more guy next week. So we'll see. Well, this week coming. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded and get my behind back to work. Child, they going to fire me. Y'all have a good day. Bye.